I mean, to have killed so many people in such a short time is appalling. I can only say that it won't happen again, and I'm very, 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 very sorry. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I'm waiting for the calliope, the whirly-gig, if you will, of apologists and slavish devotees of Barack Hussein Obama to start the excuse machine working in his favor to explain why, when he promised to filibuster the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act and has instead voted for it. How much of a complete fucking turnaround is that? To go from filibustering, not to just merely saying no, but all the way around to supporting it. Okay, now, the race is on, slavish devotees. Start cranking out the excuses for why your boy has now betrayed you, and a vast majority of the left wing who presumably would support him in the general election. So start cranking out the excuses, start telling yourself it's just a glitch, instead of the first in many, many fucking betrayals that he's going to hand your way. So just get ready for it. If you're of a mind to, if you're not, just sit on your lazy ass and accept that he's going to turn out to be just like everybody else, a lying fucking crook. Of course, McCain is no fucking better at all. His former captor in Vietnam says he'd vote for him, but he says that McCain made up the whole thing about there being torture in Vietnam against those that they had prisoner. And, well, of course, he has every reason to say that, so I don't know how much truth there is in that, but I do find it quite odd and strange that the former captor of a prisoner of war would, in fact, vote for that prisoner of war. It just doesn't seem right to me. And, of course, McCain has denounced the Supreme Court decision which, in effect, gives detainees at Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay, access to the courts. In other words, constitutional rights, such as habeas corpus, which would make him a great candidate for President Bush number 3. So, I have nothing good to say about that scum. Nothing good whatsoever. So you get exactly what you pay for in either one of them two candidates. I hope you're all happy. I can't wait to hear the excuse machine started up on Obama. It's going to be sweet. Again, I'm stunned. Stunned almost into complete silence at the Supreme Court's ability to get yet another issue correct, coming out in favor of the actual real Second Amendment. Yes, people, you have a right to own a gun. I shit you not. The Supreme Court of this country actually said it. I'm fucking shocked. Yes. Yes, they come out in favor of the Second Amendment as read, that the people in this country have a right to own a weapon. I suggest now is a good time for you to get out and buy a weapon. Lord only knows what kind of laws and what kind of things are going to come down the pipe to try to take this away. So, if you've of a mind to do it, I suggest you do it now. Now's a great time. Go out and get yourself a gun. Self-protection. It's one of the greatest things you can do for yourself. Defend yourself. Defend your home. And defend your family. Even go hunting. Hey, with the rising cost of food prices, you can go out and kill yourself some meat, you're saving some money. So go out and get yourself a gun. You can't go wrong. Just be safe with it. The floods are continuing in Mississippi and Missouri along the Mississippi River, and it's truly a devastating toll that it's having in that area, not only on people and property, but long-term effects on our food supply are a tremendous issue that needs to be examined and needs to be addressed. I do not believe we have sufficient reserves in this country to counteract a catastrophic loss in food supply, which we may face because there are already food shortages in the East, in Asia, and I see that that can certainly be the case here in this country as well, particularly if the harvest is very meager this year because of floods and other environmental problems happening in the Midwest. So that is something that needs to have a keen eye on for future developments. An interesting little side note, Stephen Hatfill, some of you may remember him from the 2001 Anthrax letter mailing case. He was named as a person of interest by the Justice Department and was put under a great deal of scrutiny and more or less convicted in the press for being the person behind the anthrax mailings. He has received a settlement from the Justice Department for $5.8 million for violation of privacy. What is very interesting about this case is the fact that this is supposedly still an open investigation, according to the FBI, and yet absolutely nothing has been done about it. It is never talked about. It is never in the news. Nothing is ever given as in the way of updates. It is like this case disappeared off the face of the fucking earth. Can you say inside job any more clearly? I know there are people out there who believe that the U.S. government knew or allowed to and even may have orchestrated the attacks of 9/11. Well, everybody can believe what they want based on the evidence they choose to accept. But in the case of the anthrax mailings, because the anthrax came from U.S. Army labs, U.S. Army grade anthrax, and because of the nature of how that operation was done, I don't think there's a single person that can deny that this had to be someone in the high reaches of the military bioweapons industry, which means inside job. Inside job. No question about it. 100%. And this is why the FBI has gone nowhere with this case, and this is why you'll probably never hear about it again, unless they can come up with some ridiculous scapegoat and try to jam it down your throat. And finally, Wall Street this week continued its slide in light of the fact that oil is now trading at over $140 a barrel. And of course, this will mean rising gasoline prices as well. So, bend over and take it again, America. And remember that your savings are not safe either. So, I don't know where to put your money, but I wouldn't put it in the stock market for any appreciable period of time, for any time that I can think in the near or semi-near future where it's going to actually result in significant gains for you. But I'm not an investment advisor, so you can just ignore what I'm saying and think I'm full of shit. But that's the way I see it. Thank you. Good day.